Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to take a look at the Majin Power Super Battle Road stage. So this stage is pretty straightforward. Much like the other brand new Super Battle Road stages, it has 3 fights. Those fights are against Majin Buu Saga enemies. So units like the Strength Evil Buu after his EZA are going to be very good here. And of course, you know, we have to mainly use units like the Super Buu, like the LR Buu tanks, units like the Transforming Evil Majin Buu, and yeah. So obviously, in terms of leads, you have various options. I've gone with a Transformation Boost team that has the Strength Super Buu as a lead. And I've also done this so that I can utilize the free-to-play Oob that will also be able to be used. You can also use the Strength Majube. He's also a viable option. Of course, also, the other alternative leads are the physical LR Buu tanks, who is probably the best lead if you can get him or have him. I've used him as a friend lead. And then the second alternative lead and the second best lead will be the tech transforming Majin Buu into Evil Buu into Super Buu. Now, obviously, in terms of the stage, as I mentioned before, we are fighting multiple Majin Buu Saga enemies. So the number one policy, or the number one thing that we want to do is we want to make sure like a unit like the EZA Strength Evil Buu is going to be highly helpful in this situation. Not only does he have a high level of evasion, but he fires off multiple super attacks against Majin Buu Saga enemies. So that's really going to help us in terms of obviously just, you know, controlling the fight and being able to dish out damage. Another important factor that we need to be aware of is that the Majin Buu team contains a lot of healing. So in terms of your items, you might want to change out one of the healing items I have for something like a mouse or some other kind of item, maybe a shamo, maybe a mouse, because you can heal so much in any given turn through the Metamorphosis link, through things like Kid Buu and his ability to heal on his super, you know, the Supreme or the Buff Buu, I call him, the big Buff Buu. And his ability to heal. You've got the natural healing from some of their passives. There's just a large or a very large way to get, or you know, a wide variety of options to get healing out of this team. And so because of that, you might want to just forego actually having how can I say, you know, multiple little items that heal you, but rather go for items that reduce the enemy attack and defense, items that obviously decrease damage dealt, and things like that, because those are really going to be what kind of helps you, what enables you to, you know, really push through. Another fortunate consequence of having the Majube in the team is of course his healing as well. So as you can see, we just have a very large amount of healing. The Buu transformation also gives us a heal, and obviously greatly increases Buu's strength, while also sealing the enemy for 5 turns as well. So overall, you can see that there's a trend of healing. There's a large section of control. In terms of Buu, once he transforms, we have sealing. If you have the tech transforming Buu, he's also very nice from a control point of view. I actually really wish I had him, or I could have found a friend lead of him, because he provides a very large amount of control with the ability to stun and seal, and his damage reduction. He actually has a wide variety of abilities that really assist you know, us in terms of Super Battle Road stages. He's got a lot of control, a lot of items in terms of his passive and his kit that really just allow us to not be, you know, in a situation where we can't control the battlefield. Because most of these fights are fighting 1 or 2 enemies, you can very easily control the fights with a couple stuns and seals, and just having that level of control and utilities that you can bring to the table. Of course, One thing to note with my team is I do have the Big Bad Bosses link activated. Obviously, Big Bad Bosses is a very pivotal link for these guys. It's a very powerful link for them, and if you link level them, you'll get it to level 10, and it does dramatically assist with their starting defense. Their links overall, the Majin Buu team links overall are very, very strong and benefit a lot from link leveling. So overall, they're the kind of team that if you link level them, or if you have been using them, you're going to have quite a noticeable difference in your performance and how easy your run is compared to someone else who maybe, for example, hasn't used the team. As you can see right there, we did get a little bit lucky, obviously getting the evasion. Alternatively, you could say we got a little bit unlucky by not getting the evasion for the super attack. But that is where Evil Buu's defensive capabilities lie. It's in his evasion, so if you don't get his evasion, you can tend to take a little bit more damage than probably what you'd like. That being said, we do still have quite a large amount of control over the fight. That was probably our most dire situation, just because obviously, we took a type disadvantage super attack probably on our weakest defensive unit. In terms of strength, Super Buu's suitability as a lead for the team, obviously this team works due to the fact that they all fall under transformation boost, but strength Super Buu himself, although markedly better after the level or the link level update, he still is probably one of the weaker units on the team, and so he's better off as a floating option with lowering the defense and attack of the enemy units. But at the same time, he's not really the lead I'd want to go with. I would definitely choose the other two. He's kind of like a last resort lead, so just keep that in mind. Of course, we managed to lower this Goten's attack and defense quite a lot. We have Oob who will lower it. We had the Super Buu who lowered it last turn, and so we should be quite alright throughout this turn. But it is just somewhere where you do need to be careful. When you are attack lowering in these stages, they're a little bit more finely tuned than they were previously. So one attack lowering instance isn't going to be enough. You're probably going to need to do at least 2 attack lowering instances. As you can see though, we are fighting 2 enemies per stage, every stage. So when I mentioned previously that you're going to want that level of control and sealing and stunning, you'll see that that's obviously clearly apparent here. You also see that we're using the Krillin item. Krillin gives a slight attack reduction to enemies over the first 3 turns. It's nothing major, but it does help a little bit when we use an item with our Majin Buu team that still starts relatively low when it comes to defensive capabilities. The team itself is good because it has healing, but the problem with it is that generally speaking, the units, even with dupes, can come out quite low when it comes to healing and when it comes to defensive capabilities. Obviously, barring the Super Buu, the Buu Tanks LR, who's probably one of the better defensive units in the game. So you'll see we still have the Dokkan attack. That is, a very important part of this whole metric here. Having the Dokkan attack is going to help us quite a lot. It's obviously going to do a lot of damage to both of them. It's going to act as a form of healing. And that's, obviously something that's good to have when it comes down to these last couple stages, or these last 2 opponents. The thing with the Dokkan attack though is you need to make sure that you obviously get it with the right unit. So we do need to be careful because obviously ideally we'd like it with Int Kid Buu, but on the same token, it's relatively difficult to get it with Int Kid Buu just because he's probably the weakest unit in terms of starting defense, especially when not rainbowed. But we will get it with them. We're going to just pop an extra item to be safe, and then from there we should be more than fine to go ahead. Obviously the Dokkan attack will help a lot, rapidly reducing the enemy's health pool, and because we split damage on Goku and Vegeta, it will definitely do some good damage to both of them. We just unfortunately won't be able to obviously guarantee killing both, but we still did some really good damage overall, which is, you know, very important. You can see Vegeta's almost dead. Obviously Goku is getting closer to being dead. We want to try and take out Vegeta because that physical threat is quite significant to the Kid Buu, who's probably our weakest unit, barring Oob and the strength Super Buu. So yeah, but you know, with him gone, the Buu tanks can definitely shine. We'll have a lot more control over the fight. We still have an item active, and we will be able to, of course, you know, lower his attack and defense if needed, but the Buu tanks will probably finish him off here. So yeah, pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. The team is well equipped, it's just very select. There's been a couple more options with Android 21 who's received an easy aim, but overall it's going to depend on your box and if you've link leveled them. But cool, that's it from me. Let me know in the comments how you felt. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care, stay safe, and bye.